This is Jonathan Becker reporting to you from Magic the Gathering 2006 World Championship in Paris. Today is an extended day, and as we know, in extended, there's a lot of really explosive combo decks, and one of them is being played by Osyp Lebedowic today. So, Osyp, what are you playing today?
I'm playing an aggro goblin deck that also combos.
Okay, and what's it called?
It's called the Red Storm.
And who came up with the deck? Who's the designer?
Someone actually posted a deck list for a Goblin Storm on the top 8 Magic forums, and the deck exists in like random forums of Star City, etc. But Brian David Marshall and Billy Moreno actually took the deck list and then added fecundity to it and changed it around a little bit to make it really explosive.
I saw you play 2 rounds in a row, and it's pretty exciting. So why don't you show the viewers how it works?
Yeah, sure. Basically, the deck can kill on turn 3 or 4. It can kill as fast as turn 2 as well, but generally you kill on turn 3 and 4. And right here, this is like an optimal hand because you have most of your combo. You have the Warrens, you have the Fecundity. So what I would do first is probably just play a land. And I actually wouldn't cast the Prospector here. I actually wouldn't cast a Prospector here. I think that's a big mistake people make. You wanna, if you have this type of hand, you wanna set it up so that you can go Warrens for 6 on turn 3. So what I would actually do is just shift the turn back, and I'll draw my card for normal. And now I would actually play the land, sack it to get a Stomping Ground. Now turn 2, you cast Rite of Flame, get the Fecundity out there as soon as you can. Now turn 3, Brightstone Ritual, cast Seething Song, play the Prospector, and now cast Empty the Warrens. So you have 6 guys. Now that you have 6 guys, you just basically draw through your deck.
Sacking each one to...
Sacking each one to the Prospector to generate a mana and draw a card. So 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana. And basically now I just go infinite. Now I have 8 mana in my mana pool. Play the War Marshal, and I have 6 mana left. This guy is great because he's basically an Ancestral Recall and a Dark Ritual. Because once you get him out, you just draw 3 cards again, and you have 3 more mana.
Once you've got the Fecundity on the table and a bunch of goblins, everything in your deck is a goblin or a mana producer.
Exactly. So I'm basically just going to cast these, get more War Marshals, sack them all. Eventually I'll draw another Empty the Warrens, and then you just do it over and over again. Eventually you'll draw as many cards as you want, and then you can just Grape Shot them out. Or if they have a Sphere Lore or you're afraid of that, you can just generate 1,000,000 guys, play a War Chief, 4 Pile Drivers. You can kill basically any way, either by attacking or just Grape Shotting them out of the game.
I heard an interesting story when they were playtesting on Magic the Gathering that they attack with 472 Pile Drivers, but they couldn't make it any larger because they maxed out the amount of tokens.
Yeah. Brian actually was testing the deck on Moto a lot, and he made more than 197 goblins, which I think is the maximum you can make. So yeah, he has a screenshot of it where there's just goblins all over the place.
Great. Well, it looks like you have a great shot at 6-0 on the day. That looks really explosive. I don't think a lot of people are expecting it.
Yeah, we thought that people would be expecting the standard goblin list, but without the Fecundity, it's just not as explosive. So we thought that people would probably just shy away from it and test against regular decks. So
yeah. If you had to play in a PTQ, which you obviously don't, and you're afraid of playing against this deck, what would you do? How would you stop it? What's the best card against you? Could somebody have one?
The Boros matchup is pretty good. Like about 50-50 matchup. I'd say whoever's on the play has an advantage. We have a slight advantage though because we just can get the explosive draws, whereas Boros can't really do anything about it. So I'd say Boros is an okay deck to play if this deck starts running up. But in general, I think the deck really isn't vulnerable to anything.
How would you get around a difficult card like a Pyrostatic Pillar, which would seem to damage you for everything in your deck?
Well, the thing about the card like that is like you're a combo deck, but you're also an aggressive deck. So I basically against Boros decks, I bring in Clickslither anyway. So if they have Pyrostatic Pillar, the Boros deck is already taking a lot of damage from their lands. I can just kill them, which is exactly what happened in an earlier round.
And also, I guess because Empty the Warrens costs 4, you could probably actually Empty the Warrens for a bunch, War Chief.
Exactly. I'll probably take 6 damage from trying to cast the Warrens, but I'll have like 12 guys in play, so it's not a really big deal.
Thank you very much, Osyp.